It's like the Falcons aren't even trying. Like, Ryan, we don't even talk about them at all. We started talking about them on a production meeting, which made me tweet this out. And I was like, this is like the first time I've talked about the Falcons since February. And it made me think about 28-3, because we know when the Falcons get a good position like number 4, or they get in a good position like 28-3, they kind of stop working. It seems that the Falcons have stopped working. We talk about everybody else. We talk about people at 7. We talk about people at 8. The Dolphins at 6, right? But we never talk about the Falcons. We never say the Falcons are putting this news out to make people want to jump up to 4 and get a quarterback. The Falcons are just sitting there. They're doing nothing. They're throwing the ball on 3rd down. They are getting sacked by Dante Hightower and fumbling. This is who the Falcons are right now at number 4. They need to make a move. This team is terrible. It's time to build. Let's get to work.
Okay, let's get to work. And you know what? You're right. We don't talk about the Falcons enough. So let's bring back in Graz, David Pollack, Dan Orlovsky, and let's talk about these Falcons. Let's give them some respect. Graz, what's the latest that you're hearing regarding the Falcons' plans at number 4?
I think most likely that's where Kyle Pitts goes. Now, look, could they take a quarterback? There was definitely some discussion about that at one point in the Falcons building. I think at this point they've just sort of decided not to, unless they get a surprise and the quarterback of their dreams is still there past 3. But yeah, to Ryan's point, if you're the Falcons, yes, you're listening to a trade down offer. I mean, if somebody wants to come up to 4 and offer me a ton, then I have to consider it. The Falcons have a lot of needs on their roster. Let's say it's the Broncos coming up from 9 and the offer's great. Now you're only moving back to 9. You can get a lot of good players still at 9 and add picks along the way to a roster that needs help defensively and otherwise. So I think the Falcons, that pick is up for sale and they'll listen. But if they stay put, my sense is Kyle Pitts is the most likely guy for them.
And Graz, let me stay with you on that one, especially if they decide to stay put there. What about the Julio Jones of it all? How does he plan to this, and is he actually available, and for what?
Yes, I do think they would consider a Julio Jones trade. Look, they wouldn't be able to do it till after June 1st, really, for cap reasons. And it's hard to really handicap how likely it is and what it would take to get him. But the Falcons are definitely letting it be known that they would listen to offers for Julio Jones. Look, if they draft Kyle Pitts, they have him as a first-round pick. They have Calvin Ridley, a first-round pick from a couple of years ago. They feel like at pass catcher, they still have elite talent. So if you could get something for Julio Jones that helps you add to your roster, I think you have to listen, and that's where the Falcons are right now. Hard to say for sure he's on the move, but I think that's a guy that you could get if you wanted to try and trade for a veteran premier wide receiver right now.
So, Dan Orlovsky, thinking about all the stuff Graz is saying, what should be the Falcons' draft strategy heading into this draft?
Yeah, I think the Falcons are in the toughest draft position out of anybody in the NFL. And that's saying a lot because they have the chance to get Kyle Pitts. I've gone back and forth what they should do. I think at the end of the day, I sit there and go, up until 8:45 p.m. on Thursday night, they should make everybody in the NFL think that they absolutely love a quarterback, that they cannot leave the first round without taking their quarterback of the future. Because the reality is this, if they do, fine, take them, okay? But if you don't, you make everybody think that they have to go up to 4 to get their guy because they don't want you to take their guy, and then you could fleece somebody. And then at the end of the day, I go, don't make this too complicated. If you walk away from the first round and you take the best tight end that Mel Kiper's ever seen and a guy that he would put as the best pass catcher in this draft in Kyle Pitts, then that's good. The NFL is about acquiring elite talent. And Kyle Pitts is elite talent. And if they get Kyle Pitts, and that's the worst case scenario, they should be incredibly happy.
See, that's interesting because I think that leaves them in a great spot. So David Pollack, I look at it like this. They got Matt Ryan, they got Julio Jones. They take a Kyle Pitts. They could be back in the conversation. So what do you do if they're them? If you're
Heck
them?
Yeah. I mean, listen, you're paying Matt Ryan all this money. You're paying Julio Jones all this money. Like, listen, I don't need Trey Lance. Not right now. If I'm going to go try to win right now, listen, we see turnarounds in the NFL every year. We see teams that don't win, that draft high, that all of a sudden they turn their season around. The Falcons could easily, dude, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts. Get you some of that. Good luck stopping that consistently. But I'll say this. If they're going to trade Julio Jones in June 2nd, if they trade him by then, they save $15 million of cap space. If I'm going to do that and I'm going to get rid of him, then go ahead and take Trey Lance. Go ahead and take my quarterback for the future. But if I'm going to keep Julio and I'm going to keep paying Matt Ryan all this money, I need them to work together. I need them to be high paid and be the best players on my team and going out and scoring 30 or 40 a game and hiding my defense on the other side of the football.
All right, you bring Pitts into that equation, and again, these guys could be back in the conversation. I know they had a rough year last year, but it can change just like that in the NFL.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.